Hello everyone, I'm Ferdi Salvador. Join us in unlocking the tricks of the trade here on Trade Talks. Let's get down to business. In a world full of jewels and anything sparkly, one name resonates in high society. Concepcion Reyes. She has built a reputation with fine estate jewelry and her designs with Riqueza, worn by the Philippines perfume set. Today, we dive into her world and what inspires her. Good morning, Erica. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited too to be on your show.
Me more, because not a lot of people know, but I love jewelry.
I do know that, yes. And you always wear amazing pieces.
No, but I don't have your pieces. Look what you're wearing today. This is a regular morning, and wow, you brought the bling out.
Thank you, Ferdi.
So tell me, how did you start this business, and when did you start?
I started in 2010. I founded my jewelry brand, Riqueza Jewelry.
Yes.
And primarily what I do is I source the globe for vintage and estate pieces. I curate pieces to show my clients. So I focus on finely made pieces with excellent craftsmanship, pieces that tell a story.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
And how did you start? When you were a little girl, were you wearing your mom's or your grandmother's pieces?
Yes, my grandmother's pieces. I always loved jewelry, ever since I was young. Jewelry and fashion, both.
Yes.
And I would wear my mom's, my Lola's earrings.
Yes.
Yes, and her necklaces. I would pile everything on. Yes.
As you do, up to now. I mean, is it genetic? Because your family members, I mean, the Concepcions, are also known for wearing, exquisite pieces.
Yes, yes. I grew up in a family where they do understand the importance of jewelry and the power of jewelry also.
What is the power of jewelry? Tell me.
The jewelry should make the wearer feel powerful, beautiful, and it's actually a way of expressing herself.
And of course, now more men are wearing pieces.
Yes,
but before we get to that, what inspires your pieces? I know you travel the world and you've got, secrets where you get your pieces. But what inspires Concepcion Reyes and her pieces?
I'm actually inspired by many style icons.
Like?
So like, for example, I love Elizabeth Taylor, Jacqueline Derive. So I'm drawn to women of the stylish women in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and the way they wore their jewelry. That inspires me, and also women in the stylish women here in Manila. That's really a big inspiration for me.
Yes, but what is the Riqueza or Concepcion Reyes, woman or man? Who would you dress up, and what kind of jewelry do they look for?
The Riqueza jewelry client would be somebody who understands the importance of jewelry and also understands that actually jewelry is a very, it's a wonderful investment because you can actually wear it. It's beautiful, but it's something that you can wear. So my clients want to feel beautiful, they want to look beautiful, and they want, and they use jewelry to express themselves.
Yeah, because you can't wear a car.
Yes.
You can't wear your condo or your house on a daily basis,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So, but tell me, what are you wearing today? I'm super distracted. I've got a set of questions in my script, but I just got distracted.
So I'm wearing a pair of Bulgari earrings.
Yes. Those are iconic.
Yes. So then I'm wearing a necklace by Cartier, a vintage piece, Bulgari watch, a vintage emerald ring, 1940s retro bracelet, Italian, and a 1980s ring.
Beautiful pieces. But more than what you're wearing today, we see you in society events and every important society events you're always invited to. But we are always drawn to your pieces. Of course, you dress very well. You're one of Manila's best dressed women. But there's one set of jewelry that really stands out, which are your emeralds.
Which is my favorite gemstone.
Oh, I was going to ask you what your favorite gemstone
That
is.
is my favorite gemstone.
Yes.
Yes.
But how did you acquire these pieces and where did you get them?
It's my favorite gemstone. So every time if during my travels or when I source and I find something that I'm personally drawn to, I try. I want to have it.
Yes.
Yes. And then aside from that, I also have inherited pieces from my grandmother, from my that have been passed down to me.
Dad's side and mom's side?
Both sides. Both.
Well, how lucky you are.
Yes.
They say in Tagalog, may sakit sa bato. And this is a good sakit. But you know, again, I'm going to go back to your emerald bracelets because they're enormous. And wow, they really stand out. Did you source those or was it passed down to you?
It's a mix. It's a mix. I have one that was gifted by my husband. So I wear that all the time. And every time I also come across pieces that I feel would look nice stacked together with it, I acquire them. Yes.
Do you have a physical store or is it by invitation?
I do. I have a showroom which is by appointment in Salcedo Village. So I have the pieces that I've curated, sourced the globe, and curated are all there.
Well, and what are your favorite heirloom jewelry haunts?
You know, I love, I go around Asia, Europe, but in particular, I love Paris and London. You know, each place has its own charm.
Yes.
Each place has its own, there's a jewelry culture that's specific to every place. So I really like to go around because, and discovering pieces, it's like uncovering treasure, right? It's
Correct.
Like
but it seems like you're more inclined to European
correct. That's
designs.
correct. Yes.
What about Asian, like heirloom pieces? Is there a market for it? And where would you go?
Most definitely. I also actually collect Philippine antique jewelry.
Okay.
Like
are those what you call the tambourines?
Correct, yes. So, but these ones that date back to the Spanish colonial time.
Right.
So I also collect those, and they're actually a lot of collectors. I know quite a few collectors where their collection, they have a wide variety of pieces because you can see actually the history, our history. If you study the pieces and look at the techniques, the way it was made, you will see by date.
Yes, but these pieces coming from like, you know, heritage or like excavations and I mean ethical excavations, they're malleable. So how do you, they're quite delicate.
They're fragile, yes. So you have to be very careful when you wear them. Yes, but they are meant to be worn.
Yes, but I've seen some of your pieces that actually have gold coins.
Yes.
Those are quite popular. I mean, not only for Filipinos, but there's a lot
of... And it's good luck too. Because,
is it?
Yes, it's good luck because coins, so it's abundance, it's wealth. And also the coins that I use are all vintage coins or antique coins. Usually I use Spanish coins. Yes.
Interesting, because you know, going back to a few episodes ago, I interviewed this lady who owns Minted Manila, and she also deals with like rare coins.
Oh, wow.
So maybe that's a great way to like, I'm going to ask her about also the luck bit of that, right?
Yes.
But is it, what are your favorite heritage houses to buy pieces?
Like, so many.
It's like choosing from your children.
It's difficult to choose, yes. But I
your
love...
top three?
Top three. Cartier would be one. Bulgari, I love. And the third, Van Cleef & Arpels.
Van Cleef, what about Boucheron and those
also,
houses? That's a way to. I think we need a whole hour to talk about this.
Yes, so many. There's so many.
Yes, a few dinners ago, I saw a good friend of ours, Irene.
Okay,
that was wearing beautiful Van Cleef coral earrings. I couldn't stop staring at them.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, is it when you source these pieces out? Of course, you really have to dig through all, you know, lots of trays. And
yes.
What makes you interested in the piece? Of course, the craftsmanship, the jewels.
Yes.
I mean the gems.
Yes.
But what about the authenticity of the piece?
That's also very important.
How do you decipher the real McCoy from an inspired by piece?
Yes. So in general, I deal with vintage pieces, pieces from 1980s older.
Okay.
Yes. So anything that's, for example, made today, like I tend to not touch those as much. But I have a network also of other dealers and experts who are in the field who can authenticate Van Cleef & Arpels, Cartier. So if there's any question, I can inquire, I can send to them, and then they give me their feedback.
I just want to like go with you, bring a crew, and just like have fun and look at
Yes,
candy all day with
yes,
you.
that would be
But
fun.
where do you normally go aside from what you mentioned, Paris? Where do you normally go and source your
London,
exclusive?
yeah, actually, every time I go on a trip,
Yes.
I make it a point to visit the antique shops.
Okay, but before we continue with that, Erica, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back here on Trade Talks. And we're back. You're still watching Trade Talks here on BNC. Still with us, the founder of Riqueza Jewellery, Erica Concepcion Reyes. So before the break, we were just talking about where you source, Paris, London, and of course you were saying when you travel.
Yes, even when I go on a family vacation with my husband, my kids, I make it a point to go to the antique shops.
So your husband has to always be ready.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
my wife
yes.
is always buying jewelry everywhere we go.
Yes, anywhere.
Is Francis used to it already?
Yes, he's used to it. He's used to it. He's used to it. And my kids too.
Really? How many
Yes.
kids do you have?
3.
3? Any
Yes.
girls?
2 girls.
So have they acquired the
Yes,
taste
they
of
do.
jewelry?
Yes, they do. And they're quite knowledgeable. Like they like, when I have new pieces, they like taking a look at them. They try it on.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness. But okay, since it's like having children, right? When you buy a piece, there's an emotional investment
Yes.
that goes into it.
Correct.
Is it hard to part with the pieces?
Always, always, always.
Really?
Yes.
What was the most difficult piece that you sold but didn't want to sell?
Several, actually.
Really?
Yes, there have been several. So I always tell myself, you know, actually, when I meet the collector who
Yes.
wants to purchase it, when I see that it brings them joy, they love it, they like the piece, I'm happy to be passing it on to somebody who loves it as much as I do.
Yes. What about situations wherein, you know, yes, it's a good client, but you think that piece can go to a better home? Have you ever encountered a situation like that?
I'm very straight, like when it comes to dealing,
Yes.
when I deal with clients. So if they express that they like it and they show that they love it, and I'm ready to part with it, then it's okay. It's then I can sell the piece. Yes.
What about, like, for example, today you're wearing all these pieces. Has there been a situation wherein you're completely stripped of your jewelry because
It has
I
happened.
want that now?
It has happened. Yes, it has
Really?
happened. Yes, it has happened.
And what do you tell them?
Well, there are some pieces that are my personal collection. So
Yes.
they're not for sale, but I do have pieces that they're my personal collection, but like there have been times when it's...
You can make space in your safe.
Yes, correct.
Wow, like what about pieces that you, for example, are really attached to, but this client is super insistent? I mean, if I had the money, I would totally try and beg you for that one of your emerald bracelets.
Those ones I've kept my emerald bracelets, but you know, I can always source something similar. So I have a wide network of people that I work with. So if there's a certain look that the client wants or something they're looking for, I take note of that and I try to source the piece for them.
All right, what was one piece that you remember purchasing and you could not, like, you couldn't sleep without having to purchase it? Like something super important.
So many. So many.
Do you bug your husband? I need to go back to the store tomorrow.
And I send him photos.
Yeah.
It's in his Viber, like
Yeah.
at midnight before I go to sleep. All of the jewelry that I'm thinking about or
Yes.
that I'm dreaming of, I send to him. And yes, many times, not just one piece, but many.
So is he trained jeweler now?
Now, yes, he has learned. He has learned. Forced to learn.
I love it. All right, tell me, what is your biggest financial regret?
You know, it would have to be actually not starting Riqueza Jewelry sooner.
Okay.
Yes, because actually it's a very I've been enjoying the journey. And it's something that I wish, you know, if I, like few years before, that I wish that I begun sooner.
Yes, but it doesn't seem like a business for you. It's so full of passion.
Yes,
You know, it's got a lot of heart, and and it resonates every time I see you, right? What about your best investment decision?
My best investment. You know, it would have to be my best investment. You know, when I buy jewelry, and I believe this holds true for everybody. Like the one piece of advice really would be buy the best jewelry or buy the best quality that you can afford. So if you follow that, actually in terms of investment, it will always work out well for you. But buy the best that you can afford.
Imagine yourself as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old little girl wearing your mother's or your Lola's jewelry. What advice would you tell that little Erica?
Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. Be fearless. Go for it. You know, whatever your gut feeling, go for it. And the things that bring you joy, pursue that.
I thought you were gonna say, pile on some more.
Yeah, also.
And my last question for you, what's your biggest mistake?
Biggest mistake?
Yes.
In terms of business or?
Any.
My biggest mistake, oh my gosh, it would have to be biggest mistake. I have to think.
No worries.
Biggest mistake in terms of
Let's say business.
business. That's a tough one.
Not acquiring all the pieces that you wanted at one time?
I mean, I was going to say there are
Yes.
some pieces that I missed.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I mean, it would be like there's some pieces that, you know, like especially in the beginning. In the beginning, when I was starting out, there were some pieces I wish I had purchased. Like looking back, that I regret not purchasing. But now it comes easier. Like when I see pieces, it's easier to decide. But when I was starting out, syempre, I was...
You want everything.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for being on the show today
Thank
and
you,
shedding
Ferdi.
light.
Thank you, Ferdi,
on-
for having me.
It's my
Thank
pleasure
you.
and shedding light on amazing vintage and estate pieces, and we can't wait to see your next collections.
Thank you, Ferdi. Thank you.
And that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Bilyonaryo News Channel on Free TV Channel 31 and on cable via Cignal Channel 24. Thanks for watching the Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.